Yo, welcome to Music Reviews, the show. No, that's mine. The musical show, the show where we're talking about music. Music Reviews is the name of my TikTok. My nickname is Slow Tide D Rider because I'm a Slow Tide D Rider. D standing for. Oh, anyway, this the one. I post reviews every day. That's my foot. Anyway, ain't no one wanna see that. Don't blame me. Have a anyway. Have a lot of takes on. Anyway, have a lot of hot takes on here, and yeah, it's just a fun place to be around. So if you're on TikTok, you want to argue about music with me, then go for it. It's right here, Slow Tide D Rider. Go follow if you have TikTok. And I also review albums that I don't even mention on here because I'm not going to mention The Dark Side of the Moon and randomly call it a 10. I need to re-listen, but yeah, it's probably a 10. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to the reviews because I've got an EP to review. I did mention I might review this last week. It's Blasts Just for Clarity 2. And yeah, I was a bit harsh, admittedly, but shut up, Ice Cream Man, for the love of fuck. But yeah, it's still mint. The first two songs are massively flawed, with Ghetto Cinderella having a really poor beat, despite Blast having a really good performance. Roddy Ricch being slightly off on Passionate, although it is still one of his better songs because he's not had a good song in a while, apart from the last song in his mixtape last year, which was also a terrible mixtape. But however, the last two songs, while they were good, they weren't great. They weren't particularly interesting, and yeah, they overall add up the four songs to a relatively mid EP that. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Thank you. That add up to around a 5.3 out of 10. Right. Now on to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 albums I said I'd listen to last week, which I've obviously listened to all of them because I do. I don't miss albums. I finished them all on Tuesday, for God's sake. Let's start off with SG's Mad, which. No. At best, there are a few alright songs, mainly because he rips off either Gucci Mane or Young Thug. Mainly Young Thug. But at its worst, it's completely soulless and devoid of anything interesting and shows everything wrong with trap. And why I give so many trap albums poor scores. One of the worst albums of the year so far, and unfortunately, the latter point is 99% of the album. Don't waste your time if you haven't already. 2 out of 10. Blah. Next up is Eladio Caron's 3 Men 2 KBRN. Don't know how to pronounce it. Gurbun. Yeah. Despite my disappointments in 4 of the track being remixes, most of them were also shit remixes by the way, I had hope with the feature list having the likes of Lil Wayne and 50 Cent, Future, and so on and so forth, that it'd be decent. However, the beats are largely predictable and some of the songs sound the same. And a lot of the beats, among being predictable, were also dog shit. There were some decent songs and a fantastic Bad Bunny feature, but yeah, it's mostly insanely mid and the features mostly don't do anything for me. Amongst this, there's some terrible songs that bring it down, especially towards the middle of the album. So yeah, quite disappointed in the end, and yeah, just a bad album, 4.6 out of 10. Now, the ratings are gonna jump, trust me. The last album's a 4.6, keep that in mind when I review 100 gex as 10,000 gex, which shouldn't have the permission to be as fucking fun as it is. While I think a few ideas fell flat, and the goofiness of it went a little bit too far in a few songs, it hit a lot, and when it hit. I got my tooth removed. Sounds straight from a kid-friendly version of South Park. I know, it sounds really weird. But it does that, and still ends up being a fucking good song and one of the best songs I've heard this year. And yeah, there's some fantastic songs. Dumbest Girl Alive is also really fun. Me, Me, Me was one of my least favourites first listen, but it's grown on me a lot. And yeah, love it or hate it, you will never forget this album if you listen to it. And it's an experience I would definitely recommend. Because you never know, you might love it. It's sort of hyper poppy mixed with like pop punk. It's weird. It's hard to pin down to a genre, but yeah, it's on LSD for certain. And yeah, I loved it though. So yeah, remember the 4.6? This is an 8.3 out of 10. Massive jump. Next up is MA3's Fantasy, and yeah, very happy to say that he has still got his touch. The etherealness and dreaminess of the album was unbelievable, and it was such a smooth listen. The first half had a few songs that were a bit and slightly less interesting than you would have wanted, although they were still good. But that second half was incredible. And honestly, 10 out of 10, some of the songs such as Cool Knit and Dismemberment Bureau were unbelievably fucking good. Radar Far Gone, I think, is a song on here that's also really good. Let me just double check that is the name of the track. Not a shit called Fantasy. Yeah, Radar Far Gone, another really good track. Laura as well is decent. But yeah, some damn good tracks here. Even if there's a few forgettable ones towards the start of the album, what is good is really good, and most of the album is good. And yeah, excellent listen, really fun, and it's good to know that he still has it. 9 out of 10. But at the top of the pyramid is Eve's Tumour. Tumour's Praise the Lord who chews but which does not consume, or simply Hot Between Worlds. You know you're in for a good album when it has a weird name like that. And yeah, in a few songs, the atmosphere was relatively boring and the tracks were formulaic and almost felt fake in a way. However, only maybe 2 maximum tracks felt like this. And as always in rock like this, what is good is really good, and that is most of the album. There are some fantastic songs on here, such as Purified by the Fire. And yeah, fantastic album, really enjoyable, and yeah, rock like this doesn't miss, and yeah, this doesn't either. 9 out of 10 again. And those are the albums this week. A much better week than last week. Last week was pretty uninteresting and quite a forgettable week. Well then, we've got a behemoth of a week coming up, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think that's the most artists have ever planned to listen to in a single week. And yeah, wish me luck. But yeah, if I get like a bulk of them done, I think on the weekend I should be okay. But I do need to get a bulk of them done on the weekend. So yeah, hopefully I don't miss any albums off that I'm going to mention, and I end up listening to them all. Although, if there is a week where I'm going to manage to like miss out on an album or two, it's going to be this one. Anyway, enough of that. Here's what I'm planning, and hopefully, probably, will end up listening to. I do, by the way, yeah, I do only listen to the albums once. I don't have much motivation to go back to most albums, and unless I really feel like it, which is quite rare. But yeah, it's the only way I'm going to listen to this much music. And sometimes you don't need to listen to an album that much to get everything out of it. You know from first listen if the album is going to interest you and is that interesting or not really. And yeah, if it is or it isn't, then you might want to go back just to see how good or bad it is. That's like what I do. But if it's like around the mid-range, then fuck no, am I ever going to listen to it again. But yeah, enough about that. Black, which is spelled 6LACK, and it doesn't make sense that it's pronounced black. It should be I always say it as Six Lack. But yeah, after 5 years, he's back, and he's dropped Since I Have a Lover, which features Don Toliver, Quinn, and that's it. 19 songs, 58 minutes long, and from what I've heard, it's good. And I've heard a lot of positives about this album, and this does look like it's a triumphant return. I'm going to predict it to be a 7, just to be safe, although it could be higher. And I forgot to mention, I've already listened to one of the albums that released this week, which I think I sort of kind of had to get them all done. JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown's hotly anticipated Scaring the Hose mixtape. Probably my most anticipated album of the year so far. Definitely up there with the likes of Slow Ties, Ugly, which definitely met my expectations. And what else have I really anticipated that I know is coming out this year? I think those are like the only two that come to my head. Although I've heard about albums and really look forward to them, of course, but like I've not anticipated them as much as I've anticipated, say, this for months now, and Ugly for quite a long time. After hearing a snippet of Selfish, which is an incredible song. But yeah, enough about that. Scaring the Hose, probably my most anticipated album of the year. Hopefully that don't sound like too much of a posh little Tory when I'm saying Hose, featuring Red Veil, and yeah, JPEG Mafia, Danny Brown. If you know anything about them, I think you have an idea on what the album is like. I'm not going to spoil what I think of it, but yeah, if you want to spoil, then again, I'm posting a mini review of it on my TikTok tonight. So, yeah. What I did forget to do is shout out 2 albums that I'm not listening to. Black Country New Road has dropped their live album, Live at Bush Hall, onto streaming services. I've got to shout out my boys because they are incredible, and Anthem Up There is one of my favourite albums of all time, one of my most played albums of all time, probably my most played album of all time. It's either that or Ugly. I've listened to Ugly a lot since it came out. But yeah, I've also listened to Anthem Up There a lot. But yeah, that's a fantastic album. And yeah, a live album from these. Our first taste of them without Isaac Woods. And yeah, defo hotly anticipated. And I am looking forward to when they eventually release a new studio album. I want to shout out that, but you know, I don't really do live albums. I don't review live albums because I don't see the point. Another one is Hit Boys, Surf or Drown. It's just weird. It just feels like a collection of songs. And like, it's just strange. Because a hell of a lot of them are instrumentals. And a hell of a lot of them are instrumentals of songs that are already on there. And yeah, it's just a bit of a mess. But, you know, it has a song with Nas. It has The Alchemist on it. And some people might want to listen to it because of that. And I don't blame them. Hang on. Yeah, all of the instrumentals are just, I think, the songs on the album again. And yeah, it's just dumb. You just get the album twice, instrumental and non-instrumental. It's strange. But I think it's actually been like hyped up as a instrumental and hip hop album. It's weird. Do I listen to it? Because if I am, I'm just gonna listen to the non-instrumentals. But I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. I did listen to a Hit Boy album, the Music Soul Child, Victims and Villains, not too long ago, and I found it quite enjoyable. Am I supposed to listen to it with the instrumentals as well? Hang on. Just give me a second. Do I listen to it with the... Should I listen to it? I'll do another coin toss, go on. Heads, I will. Tails, I won't. But whether I do or not, I will only listen to the non-instrumental versions because I can hear the instrumental when I'm listening to the non-instrumental ones and it makes no sense to listen to it. Let's go. Take my words, it landed on Heads. I'm going to listen to it, but yeah, I'm only going to listen to the non-instrumental versions of the tracks. So, yeah. Hit Boys, Surf or Drown. Yeah, there you go. I'll listen. Yeah, enough about that. Lana Del Rey's Hotly Anticipated, another one I'm really excited for, and I'm going to listen to after I've sorted out editing this and shit. Did you know that there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard featuring Grandfather, Please Stand on the Shoulder. Grandfather, please stand on the shoulders of my father while he's deep sea fishing. Very long name track, but hey, it's got a Father John Misty feature. It's gonna be fucking good. Tommy Genesis, Bleachers, SYML, and John Batista are also there. 16 songs, an hour and 17 minutes long. It's a long one. And yeah, it's gonna be an 8. O3 Greedom with Halfway There. World living on a prayer. Featuring Maxo Cree, Babyface Ray, Rich the Kid, Ty Dolla $ign, Skilla Baby, Peso Peso, and that's it. 33 songs, an hour and 39 minutes. One of them, not gonna enjoy it at all. From the album cover, you can literally guess what albums are. I keep saying this, you can literally guess what albums are gonna sound like from the album cover, and it's not gonna sound good. I'm predicting a 1. Actually, no, a 2, because 33 songs, there's gonna be some decent enough ones on there. So, yeah, not looking forward to that one at all. Another one I'm not looking forward to is Quando Rondo's Recovery, featuring NBA Youngboy. 20 songs, 57 minutes long. Gonna be a solid 3. Moving on. I kind of do have to rush over these, don't I? After taking like 5 minutes with Hit Boy. Next up, Jay Skeez's Abolished Uncertainties, featuring Freeway, Conway the Machine, Gillian Hainsworth, Oregano, Kota Savia, Teddy King, and Kota Savia again. 13 songs, 46 minutes long. Last time I listened to a Jay Skeez album was the one with Conway the Machine that I thought was pretty good. I'm going to say it's going to be a 7. Don't know what to expect from this next one. Fall Out Boy, So Much for Stardust, featuring Ethan Hawke. 13 songs, 44 minutes long. Fall Out Boy have fallen off on recent years, but from the album cover, I presume it's going to be more towards their roots, which, like, their old shit wasn't too bad. I mean, it's not my favourite pop-punk shit that there is, but wasn't that bad. I'm going to say it's going to be a 6. I'm going to be optimistic, because I could have easily just said 5. Next up, Owl City with Coco Moon. He was huge at one point, wasn't he, Owl City? But yeah, he's still going. Just released today, but I'm pretty sure from what I've heard, he's like completely fallen off now and he's shit now. I'm going to say a 3 as well. Although that is being quite pessimistic, because I almost said 4. Next up, Luke Combs with Getting Old. Pretty sure he's a country artist. 18 songs, 1 hour and 6 minutes long. At least you're not Morgan Wallen and you dropped 38 songs that combined are nearly 2 hours long. Thanks for that, Luke Combs, but this is still going to be a fucking 2. And finally, Depeche Mode, releasing what is probably going to be their final album, let's be honest. Memento Mori, given one of the band members suddenly passed away last year. Rest in peace. And yeah, hopefully this is going to be a really good way for them to go off. 12 songs, 50 minutes long. Hopefully he's involved in at least some of these, because they were recording this album before he died. And yeah, Memento Mori, I'm going to say it's going to be a 7. But yeah, looking forward to that one as well. But yeah, got a hell of a lot to look forward to this week, and I've got a Lana Del Rey album to listen to tonight. So yeah, gonna get that over with, gonna get this show over with. Sorry for taking so long with bloody Hit Boy, but yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, my prediction for how many bad albums they're going to be is wrong, and the albums are going to be really good. But, yeah. I'm not holding out the most hope for this week. Although, there is going to be some good albums. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. We're getting Boy Genius next week. Now that I think about it, I think I might as well show you my ranking of like almost every album I've ever listened to that I've got on my notes. If you want to pause at anything specific, you can. If you're like, why did you rank such and such so low? Oh, this Lint. I feel a bit harsh giving that a number because it's such a fucking sad album, but it's actually like incredible. Perfection. That's a controversial one. I do need to re-listen. That might go up back up to a 10. I'll probably show you this maybe a few times a year. I think this is completely up to date, aside from the JPEG album that I'm not going to spoil the rating of. Actually, no, there is one missing album. JPEG Mafia's All My Heroes Are Cornballs. This is a 7.4, by the way. There's Ray in the top 40. And yes, I have got Ugly, top 3 of all time. It's pretty much my comfort album at the moment. It will fall down eventually when I... Changes are so close to a 10. And Ekin Goods is the drop badly, lad. That's horse shit, by the way. If you want to be all... Ooh. Anyway. There's the highest of the week in 73rd. There's Barter 6, Cracker Island. That does need to go a bit lower, actually. It's like an 8.6. Ice, Death, Planets, Lungs, Mushrooms of Love. What a name for an album. There's Slow Tie again. I still haven't listened to Nothing Great About Britain. I need to, though. Oh, there's Cracker Island again. Cracker Island's on here twice. That's Brockhampton, anyway. Just ignore this for a second. Sorry about this. Sorry, but just ignore my dogs in the background. You can even hear them. 0.9 out of 10. And that's the top 100 complete with the 3 AM tracks that I've got separately from the rest of Midnight. Then you've got that one I've defo overrated. I do need to re-listen just so I can lob at that. There's Cuddy. There's Kenny. First time we'll put onto the list, actually. There's 100 Gex. Nas. I haven't listened to Illmatic yet, but I need to. There's Cali. Alt J. There's Yay. Conway from last week. Tay-Tay. Chili Peppers. Absol. Steve Lacy. Radiohead's H. Michael Bublé. There's Hit Boy. There's Big Pig. There's AKA. There's Coldplay. That one I might have overrated a little. But, you know, I was a Coldplay stan, so don't blame me. Oh, yeah, I didn't mind that Bella Porch EP. There's Rebecca Black. Move. There's Muse, because I'm a Muse stan, even though that album is, like, technically shit. YG. My goodness. Slow Time, Måneskin, Stallion, Wizkid, Wiz, Blade, Neat Books, Tay-Tay, Harry, Ava, Tron. No, go back. Good boy. Sorry about this. Rena. Pixies, Hudson Mohawk. I remember when Seabot was trending. That's a 6.7, by the way, sorry. 6.7 out of 10, there we go. Jesus Lord. It's hard showing off your list when everything's messed up for you and it's too bloody bright. It's been that bright the whole time. Alright. Sorry. Can this flipping thing get off? Thank you. I know it's got all the way back up there. That's too low. I was around here. Sorry. Yeah, I was here. Pierce the veil. I'll try and go a bit quicker now, because I need to. Probably can't. Oh, there's Ice Spice. In the top 200. There's Sam. There's Cheat Codes. Tovolo. Trust Fall, the most radio album to ever exist. Ignore that. MIA. I was probably a bit harsh on that MIA album. Here's Eladio Caron, Megan Trainor. I do need to re-listen. I might have been being a bit nice. Young Nudie Gumbo is probably the most controversial take on TikTok, weirdly. I get made fun of about that the most. It's fine, it's funny. Getting towards the foot of the list. It's about that. We're nearly... Anyway, we're nearly there now. Ooh, we're into the... There's SG towards the end. Here's the ones. There's Roddy, who I mentioned. And there you go. That's the list. Wyatt James, bottom 2 of all time. There you go. In a bit.